Hi, welcome to Digitizer. In this tutorial, we'll be covering Maya basics. Maya is used in many developed processes such as animation, rigging, and visual effects and modeling. Before going to start, I'll be focusing on user interface. On the top of the Maya window, we have menu bar. The menu bar acts just like any other software, have drop-down menu with specific functions. The menu bar changes corresponding to the environment where we are working. For example, the environment is just animation. We are going to work in animation and we are going to model using polygons and just rendering dynamics and VFX. While changing the environment, the menu bar changes according to the environment where we are going to work. Maya is used for modeling, animation and visual effects. While changing this environment just as a rendering, we can see the changes in the menu vice versa. Then we are going to see the status line. Right below the menu bar is status line. We won't be using the status line much more except this great snap tools. Right below the status line is shelves. The shelves is most important thing. We have various shelves. Its defaults. We can choose the required shelf corresponding with our function in Maya. For example, we can edit the shelves by clicking this button, create new shelves and delete the shelves, and we can load it and we can create a new one also. The shelf has commonly used tools inside the Maya. So we'll be setting up a custom shelf for requirement environment where we are going to work for animation or modeling or dynamics or rendering. Whatever it is, it was the default setup in Maya. On the left hand side of Maya window, we have toolbox. The toolbox consists of functions such as move, rotate and scale, and various functions of our viewport. And this is the viewport, which is probably most important part in Maya. Inside the viewport, many functions in the top, just a view, shading, lighting, show. We can highlight the different elements and select the render, and we can shift viewports and panels. If we want to see 4 views inside the viewport, just simply hit the space bar. By hitting the space key, we have top view, perspective view, side view and front view. In Maya, everything context sensitive. It means by placing the mouse over the view and hit the space key, it maximizes the view, and is over the perspective view also does the same thing. Just place the mouse over the viewport. You want to maximize, just is the space key. Again hit the space key, it will back to the 4 views. This makes easier and faster switching between views in Maya. Right below that, we have some commonly used functions for viewport. And you may have seen when I hit the space key, the context pop-up menu appears. The context menu pop-up which appears inside the viewport as same as the menu bar in the top of the Maya window. You can simply select all the functions inside the viewport, just file, edit, modify everything inside the window itself. It helps to handle the viewport and the menu functions in the viewport itself. On the right hand side, we have channel box and layer editor. The channel box is very important and it gives option for specific objects and assets that are chosen inside the viewport. So for the better example, I am going to create a polygon, just a cube. Just I am selecting the cube. The channel box shows the options of the cube to be edited. If I unselect the object, the channel box shows nothing. The another important part of channel box is attribute editor. We can select the attribute editor by click here the attribute editor button, or just select the object, press Ctrl and hit A in the keyboard. The attribute editor displays. Attribute editor has the function of selected object or assets to create, modify inside the Maya. And in the right side bottom we have the layer editor. This was the layer editor. The layer editor going to be very important to us because we can be placed objects individual layers and we can hide those layers. For example, just I'm going to create one more object as sphere. The sphere has created. I'm going to scale this cube smaller and moving near to this cube. Just I'm going to place these two objects in two different layers. Just how to create layers? Just create layers, and one more layer I have created, and the first layer I am just going to rename it. Double click on the layer, the edit layer window appears and we can change the name as just type cube and save. I'm going to add this cube in this layer. Right click on the layer and add selected objects, and I'm going to rename this layer as sphere. Then I'm going to add the sphere in this layer. Just right click, add selected objects. Now these two objects are placed in two different layers. Just by hitting the checkbox V, it invisible, and again check the box V, it visible. And we can set this render layer and animation layer also like this, the same process. It will depend upon the requirement and the environment and what we are working for that. And below this we have time slider and range slider. This is used for animation, for setting up keys, for basically cycling through animations. Just example, just I'm selecting the cube, and from the first frame I am hitting the S key for placing the key. The first key is, there is a red line mark as appears because the object was keyed. Just, and at the 20th frame I'm going to place another key just by hitting the key S in the keyboard. Now start playing it. This is the button, it's not moving. Just I'm deleting the key, and at the end of the frame I'm going to place the key moving the object, and I again press yes on the keyboard. Now I'm going to play. The object moves very fastly because the frame rate is very low. If we are increasing it nearly 1000 frames. Now check, I'm going to move this key to the last frame. I'm going to delete the previous key. Okay, there are only two keys from the frame 1 to the end of the frame. It was the 1000th frame. Just I'm going to play. And the range slider used for this animation, placing the keys. And below that we have command line. This is for you to use and execute scripts in the Maya window, and the MEL stands for Maya Embedded Language. Through this command line we can execute and edit scripts. Below the command line we have helpline. This was the helpline. The helpline helps you to display various areas based on what's happening inside the scene. That's what we have seen till now, the Maya basics and the interface. And then you want to learn in detail, just visit our website www.digitizer.in. For more updates, just subscribe. Thanks for watching.